Hey guys, welcome to my channel BitGlenn. My name's Glenn and I like to share with you what I learn in the world of cryptocurrency as I go through it. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Glenn, do you ever change clothes? Well, I've tried to record 2 days worth of videos within the space of about an hour and a half. So I am wearing the same clothes. Today I just wanted to talk to you about a few articles that I was reading and the sort of narrative that you want to be careful of and how you can use that narrative to best make your decisions going forward. And we talked about this in my previous video on how you need to plan what you're going to be doing going forward for the next 6 to 18 months in the world of cryptocurrency so that you don't get left behind. So let's check out a few articles and see what they're all about. So if you've been watching my videos for the last couple of weeks, you know that this is the section where I shill my social medias, my YouTube channel. But we're not going to do that today because if you watch my videos regularly, you know. That's all I'm going to say. So let's have a little look at what I think is the narrative going on in the world of Bitcoin at the moment, as I see it. So this is on a website called the Daily Hodl. They do some really cool articles, so I've been reading them sort of every day. I get little notifications with their latest articles, and this one here is talking about a huge amount of Bitcoin being transferred into different wallets. So I'll just read this statement out to you. Sudden $369 million worth of Bitcoin movement sparks crypto wow alert. Crypto traders are tracking a series of Bitcoin transfers from a huge anonymous wow. The mysterious crypto holder moved a total of 40,000 Bitcoin, worth about 369 million, across the ledger in 12 separate transactions. The wow appears to be methodically dividing the crypto trove into separate wallets containing 4,000 Bitcoin each. The 12 transactions cost a total of $11 in fees. Awesome. Here's an overview of all the transactions at time of publishing, which happened in the span of about 4 hours. So there's actually 12 different transactions here on the blockchain that everyone can see, and that's what I really like about crypto. When it started off, everyone was saying it was this anonymous money that the dark web used, but actually everyone can see what's going on. You don't know the person, we don't know who this person is, but we know that their wallet address is going to this other wallet address. We know exactly where that is on the blockchain, how many Bitcoin are on it. So once governments get their head around it, I think they're going to have quite an easy time of identifying whose is what and where it came from and what IP address and stuff like that. I don't know. So that's all good. But what's more interesting to me is why are they doing this? So you've got these huge investors. Now, let's just think for a second. Someone has got the access to 369 million. So that's $1/3 billion accessible. Why are they holding that? 369 million. Surely if the price of Bitcoin goes up $500, they can just sell that, and that's a massive gain. If they sell all of that 40,000 Bitcoin, you're not going to get that anywhere else. It's like they're expecting obviously something bigger to come. None of the addresses in question have been identified. The owner of the funds could be an investor separating his or her Bitcoin across multiple addresses for security purposes, or a crypto exchange, custody provider, or institution managing assets on behalf of its customers. New data from the crypto and analytics from Glassnode show that the number of Bitcoin wows in existence has been on the rise since January, hitting a peak last seen in September of 2017. And we all know what happened in September 2017, don't we, boys and girls? Yes, Glenn. That was when obviously Bitcoin went from, I don't know, $5,000 to like $20,000. So obviously that was a 3x at that point. So whoever this is, they're not just betting with their own money. They're betting with a consortium of people's money. I don't know that, but I assume that's what it is, because that is a huge amount of wealth to have just in Bitcoin. And it's someone that obviously believes strong enough that Bitcoin is going to do well. Otherwise, why would they hold that much in that asset? You'd think they'd be day trading it or something. Got another article here about the top 11 cryptocurrencies based on a report that has come out of China. Now, why is that important? Well, actually, cryptocurrencies are mostly bought from people from the continent of Asia. Cryptocurrencies are very popular there, and depending on how a cryptocurrency is seen by the Asian community, that will determine whether it will succeed in terms of price going forward, because there's such a huge driving factor of what happens to cryptocurrency. Not the ultimate factor, but they are a huge proportion of the people that are snapping up cryptocurrencies at the moment. And they're saying that EOS, Tron, Ethereum, IOST, LSK, Neo, Quantum, XLM, GXS, Dash, Bitcoin is like 11th or 12th or something. So, I think this is rubbish. I'm not going to delve too much into this article. I don't think EOS is worth what it is at the moment, and I don't think Tron is worth what it is at the moment, because to me they're not finished products. They're not complete products. They always talk about, I think Tron's talking about doing a 4.0 version now. Like, I didn't even realise that they upgraded from 2.0 to 3.0. I don't know. That's EOS, obviously every time I read an article about EOS, it's normally bad. So that article, don't really care about. The fact that they're saying Bitcoin's number 12 in terms of cryptocurrencies, it loses credibility for me. And then we have here Coinbase adding new crypto asset after 77% surge. So this article is saying that they're going to be adding Compound onto Coinbase. And if you watched my video yesterday, you'll know that I think that staking reward is going to be the huge driving factor to people investing lots of money into crypto. And if Compound is available on Coinbase and they say, right, okay, now you can start earning interest on, and I think they have several different coins that have partnered with them. So once they've got them on board, then Coinbase, I assume, will have access to them getting the staking rewards across everyone's account. So the coins that offer staking rewards are going to pump huge. XRP nearly as popular as Bitcoin? I don't think so. This one's interesting. So this is Kraken's Jesse Powell says Bitcoin will exceed $100,000 this cycle, reveals huge influx of crypto traders. Now, these people that own these exchanges, they have a really good insight. They can see how people are acting, what they're willing to go up to, what they're not willing to go down to. So they have a very good idea overview of what is happening in the trading market of Bitcoin. And ultimately, that decides the price of Bitcoin. So they're in a very good position to say, okay, I think if this trend continues and from the data we've collected, we think this is happening. And she's saying that Kraken Chief Executive Jesse Powell thinks Bitcoin is on its way to shattering $100,000. In a new interview with Bloomberg, Powell, who funded the San Francisco-based cryptocurrency exchange in 2011, says he believes the US dollar is heading towards inflation due to the Federal Reserve's manipulation of the market. He views Bitcoin as a hedge. People are flocking to it as a safe haven because of that finite predictability supply. We're not going to mine an asteroid of Bitcoin anytime soon. No one can print Bitcoin, so it's very predictable and people are flocking to it for that reason. It's very weird actually, because you very rarely hear Bitcoin, or in the time that I've been in crypto, you never hear about Bitcoin being a predictable, steady. These are all languages and words that are going to drive people that are less, have a less appetite for risk to get involved, because if they're hearing from someone of high power or high knowledge, like, you know, oh, Bitcoin's safe, it's secure, it's predictable, it's steady, it's, you know, if they hear all that, they're like, okay, I don't mind, instead of me just putting in £500, I don't mind putting in $20,000, 100,000. I don't mind putting in my retirement fund. You hear, you know, that sort of narrative, that sort of wording would make you believe. But I'll get on to another point in a second. In the past 3 months, we've seen a massive influx of new accounts from all personas. We're seeing hedge funds, we're seeing wealth managers, we're seeing retail investors, we're seeing day traders. Everyone is signing up for it. As for the price of Bitcoin, Powell told of a recent roundtable hosted by Petrina, which he believes the top cryptocurrency is currently at a massive discount and on a path towards at least $100,000 over the next 2 years. When asked about Bitcoin's notorious volatility and potential crypto market manipulation, Powell says it's no worse than what's happening in traditional markets. Completely agree, 100%. But here's my issue. I remember the CEOs of different exchanges all saying the same things. When Bitcoin was going to 20,000, they predicted that it would eventually go to $50,000. Why would they do that? Someone who makes profit off of people buying and exchanging cryptocurrencies for cash or for stable coins, in and out, and also for altcoins. The exchanges are the biggest money-making machines in cryptocurrency. If I was clever enough, I would set up an exchange tomorrow and offer all the services like leveraging, because they are the ones that are making the real money in this cryptocurrency space, in my opinion. It's not the little guy like us. It's not even some of these ICOs. It's not some of the small coins that are being created. It's the exchanges. They are killing it, because when there's volatility, that means people are getting liquidated. It means people are converting. They don't know whether to hold Bitcoin or for altcoins, and for different times of periods of year where Bitcoin's dominance starts to go down and altcoins go up, all of a sudden there's a massive influx, and they're getting little fees all the time, little fees from every single person, and they are absolutely killing it. They're making tons and tons of money from this. So this Mr. Powell, the owner of Kraken, obviously is very financially incentivized to hype and pump the price of Bitcoin, because that would lead more people onto his platform to make trades, to therefore get more money for his business into his pocket. So take these sort of articles with a pinch of salt. Just be level-headed. Think in your mind, where would I be happy for Bitcoin to go? Where would I be happy to sell my Bitcoin? Now, I said this in my video a few days ago, and some people were like, yeah, I'm going to sell when it gets to 20,000. Some people said, I want to sell when it's 30,000. Some said 50, 100, 200. Some people, when I said that someone would say this, someone said in the YouTube comment section, which you can do the same if you want, I'm going to keep buying Bitcoin even when it's at its all-time high. I'm just regularly buying in Bitcoin as much as I can, and I'm going to wait until I can buy physical things with my Bitcoin. So he's thinking that we're going to eventually be in this world where it's the sort of world centralized currency where everything will be pegged to it. So at the moment, I was trying to explain this to my wife. If I was having a conversation with someone from Japan, and I said to him, yeah, this phone is $100, 100 USD, $100. Now, I know that in British pounds, that's about £80. He will know, if he's looked at what his currency is worth any time in the last few years, that his currency is mentally pegged to the US dollar. He will say, oh, $1 is so many yen, So that equates to, 10,000 yen. So he will know that this phone will be 10,000 yen for him. I know that I'll be receiving about 80 quid's worth. And that's because we have that centralized US dollar as the sort of world's global currency. But I think in the future we will have Bitcoin. It's the fairest system. It's all of us. Satoshi is all of us. I think people will say this phone is 100 Satoshis or 1,000 Satoshis, and that Japanese person will know that to buy 1,000 Satoshis he needs so much yen. I think it will become the world's global currency one day, but that's a long time down the road. That's what I think. But anyway, when that happens, the volatility in Bitcoin will probably die down a little bit. It'll sort of plateau, if you like, because everyone will understand, okay, my money's worth this much against Bitcoin. And as money deflates, obviously Bitcoin's getting more scarce, it will have a more predictable price appreciation. Now at that point, if people can predict and they're pretty confident, I think that Plan B's projection of the stock to flow model, if that pans out to be true and stay true in the next sort of big bull run of Bitcoin, people will then look at his next asset and say, his next price prediction along that graph and say, right, okay, so based on the science and the maths that you've written so far, the next logical step is Bitcoin being worth 1.2 million per coin. And if that starts to play true again, they're going to be like, right, Bitcoin's 100,000k. Well, let's just get it because it's going to 10x in the next 4 years. If it was that predictable, I suppose. Obviously, there's no guarantees, but we'll see what happens with that. At the moment, it's trending true, everything that he says. So fingers crossed for that, because 100k Bitcoin would be awesome. I've talked a lot recently about my exit strategy, and I did a video about it, and I think you should really think about an exit strategy. And I sort of quickly touched on, I sort of had to watch back on some of that video the other day, and I sort of just quickly said, oh yeah, I'm looking to make 250. Now some of you may watch that and think, Glenn wants to make £250 out of cryptocurrency. I actually meant 250k. So I have a goal in my head of buying a plot of land and building my own house on it, a sort of 5 or 6 bedroom detached house. That's like my dream little house in some sort of little village. And if Bitcoin can get me there, I believe I can get there by myself in the next sort of probably 5 to 7 years. I think I can get there myself anyway. But if Bitcoin can get me there a lot quicker, then by all means, I will sell my Bitcoin. If I could sell it today and I could walk away with, I would probably need about 250,000 to 300k, depending on how big the house was. If I could somehow get that tomorrow, I'd forget the lending side of it. I'd forget about chasing all-time highs. I would sell it that day, because then it doesn't matter for me. If Bitcoin goes to $1 million per coin, I might think, oh God, I wish I kept that, because then I could have built the house and bought a nice car. But for me, it won't matter at that point. I will always say Bitcoin bought this house for me. Bitcoin paid for this house and this land that I'm going to own and I'm going to hand down to my children. That means more to me than more money. So I have an exit strategy in place. If Bitcoin doesn't hit that figure, I believe it will hit those sort of figures in the next cycle. So I'm talking in the next 4 to 5 years time, just to make that really crystal clear. This person is talking about it hitting 100,000 this cycle, and a lot of people are guessing 200,000, 280k. Now some of you may say, what, so Glenn, do you think Bitcoin's going to 250k? Not necessarily. It might only go to 125k. But that just means that my strategy to implement my exit strategy, if I believe that to be true, I have to own 2 Bitcoin or 2.3 Bitcoin. Something like that to achieve my dream goal. And you watching this video may have a dream goal yourself. You may say, oh, I really want a Lamborghini. Well, you just need to figure out when to sell Bitcoin so that you can buy that Lamborghini. That's it. You may think back in the future, like later, oh, I wish I'd kept that Bitcoin. It went to 1.2 million after. But then on the flip side, if you hold Bitcoin and then it has an 80% retracement, like it has done many, many times before, you're going to think, oh my God, I had that Lamborghini in my hand and I let it go. So don't be that guy. Make your dreams come true in the world of cryptocurrency. Just remember to have a goal, have a vision at the beginning of what the end is going to look like for you. What is your end? And whatever your end is and however you think it's going to play out, set yourself up today to achieve that goal. If you have a picture of something, say on your wardrobe, so say it's that Lamborghini, or say it's that house, or say it's the dream holiday, or say it's to pay for your, I don't know, something really sort of meaningful, like helping someone survive some sort of surgery or getting the best treatment or whatever it may be. Put that picture up, stick it up somewhere so that you see it every day. Every single day you see it. The more you see something, the more likely it is it will happen. Now, you may think, well, Glenn, that's just stupid. I'll just put a picture of £1 million up. But if you see something every day, eventually, one day it's going to twig. How am I going to get there? Oh, if I think Bitcoin's going to 100k and I want to make $1 million, I need to buy 10 Bitcoin. How can I get 10 Bitcoin? Well, I could do this, I could do that, I could day trade, I could get an extra job and buy Bitcoin every single day or every week until I've got 10 Bitcoin. Or, you know, I'm just trying to say that the more you set yourself up and actually think like, this is what I think is going to happen, so therefore I need to set myself up so that when I get to this goal, I can cash out everything. And then if no one's ever going to come back to you and go, you sold your Bitcoin when it was worth $50,000 or $100,000. You're a loser. You can say, well, when did you buy in, mate? And when did you sell yours? And they'll go, well, I didn't. Now I've got to buy it at 100k. And you'll be like, you're the biggest idiot, mate. I wanted a Lamborghini, or I wanted my Bitcoins bought me this. My Bitcoins helped me achieve that. Do you see what I mean? That no one's going to put you down for that. So that's really sort of my key message from reading this article. So I just wanted to share that with you guys today. And I've really been drilling this home the last... that's my video uploading. The last sort of couple of weeks, I've really been driving home this exit strategy. And I think this is really important just because I sort of have a feeling of what's going to happen in this next bull run, and everyone's going to get FOMO'd and swept up in the romance of it all. And I think there's going to be a lot of broken hearts. And if you're watching this video and you don't get a broken heart because of advice that I gave you today, but you may be glad that I gave it to you in 6 months or 12 months time, you might be like, oh yeah, I did what Glenn said. Then fair play to you, well done to you, pat on the back. Maybe it's worth me making a note of these couple of videos that I've done to maybe watch back on them when the Bitcoin sort of hits its all-time high and say, look, this is what I advised you 6 months ago. And I assume then obviously I'll have new subscribers who maybe didn't go back and watch that video. So yeah, I don't know, what do you guys think? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think Bitcoin's going to 100k this cycle? I really hope it, fingers crossed. If it did, I would be absolutely over the moon. But I just don't know. I just think you just got to be a bit careful. When people predict these, you've got to think, why would that person say that? What incentive have they got to say that? Where are they saying it? If it's some fanboy YouTube channel, then they've got your attention, they've got your views, that's what they want. So they're hitting their goal by saying that sort of stuff to you. If they're saying it on a investment channel and they've heavily, like if you look at Mike Novogratz. He's always saying, oh, I think Bitcoin's going to $40,000 by the end of December. Like, he said this like a year ago or whatever it was. And none of these things have happened. It makes him look like one of the worst traders. He hasn't made a right call. So yeah, you just have to bear that in mind. And I've seen exchange CEOs go on to sort of CNBC Fast Money, and he said, oh, Bitcoin's going to 50,000. I've seen people say Bitcoin's going to 100,000, and none of it happened. None of it happened. But it may do going forward. I hope that day comes. That's it from me, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button if you like this content. And if you're new to this channel, please click the subscribe button and tick the little bell notification so you know when I go live or upload another one of these videos. You can also find me on Telegram. There's actually a group chat called Team Bitglen. No shilling, no scams, just a couple of hundred people that are passionate about cryptocurrencies and having a bit of a laugh and a bit of banter. If you want to message me sort of more privately, a one-to-one, then you can actually tag me on Twitter with the handle @BitGlen. That's it from me, guys. I'll see you on the next video from myself, probably Monday. So, oh no, we're doing a live, sorry, I forgot. We're doing a live stream. By the time you're watching this, it will be tomorrow night. Probably around about 7 o'clock, so tick that little bell and it'll tell you when I'm going live. And I'll put in the Telegram group chat probably half an hour before I actually go live. I'll say that I'm going live, and hopefully we can all jump in and we're going to do some turbo betting on Prime XBT, because I know you guys love a bit of turbo. I just need that turbo fix, man. That's it from me, guys. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.